this particular coronavirus issue that we're dealing with right now seems to be a great illuminator of that very fact, is that there's so much data and there's so much that's open to interpret. There's so many things because it's all happening in real time, right? And like particularly right now in California, we're in stage 2 tomorrow or Friday, 2 days from now. Stage 2, retail stores opening up, things are changing. Like no one knows the correct process that needs to take place to save the most amount of lives, but yet ensure that our culture and that our economy survives. It's a lot of speculation and guessing, but if you go to certain places, they'll tell you, we know why, and we know this, and we know, it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, in general, I think that's like we should be concerned about anything that's a massive infringement on our civil liberties.
Yes.
You know, so it's like you got to put a lot of weight on that. You know, a lot of people died to, you know, win independence for the country and fight for the democracy that we have, and you know, we should treasure that and not give up our liberties too easily. And I think I think we probably did that actually. So,
well, I like what you said when you said that it should be a choice, and that to require people to stay home, require people to not go to work, and to arrest people for trying to make a living. This all seems wrong, and I think it's a wrong approach. It's an infantilization of the society. That daddy's going to tell you what to do.
Fundamentally, a violation of the Constitution.
Yes,
freedom of assembly, and you know, it's just. I mean, I don't think these things stand up in court, really.
They're arresting people for protesting.
Yeah.
Because they're protesting and violating social distancing and these mandates that tell people that they have to stay home.
Yeah, these would definitely not stand up. You know, if the Supreme Court here, I mean, it's obviously a complete violation, right?
Yeah. And again, this is not in any way disrespecting the people who have died from this disease.
No.
It's certainly a real thing to think of.
Yeah, I mean, it just should be if you're at risk, you should not be compelled to leave your house,
right,
or leave a place of safety. But you should also not be if you're not at risk, or if you are at risk and you wish to take a risk with your life, you should have the right to do that.
And it seems like at this point in time, particularly, our resources would be best served protecting the people that are at risk versus penalizing the people that are not at high risk for living their life the way they did, particularly having a career and making a living and feeding your family, paying your bills, keeping your store open, keeping your restaurant open.
Yes. I mean, there's a strong downside to this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just believe, like, you know, if this is a free country, you should be, you know, allowed to do, you know, what you want as long as it does not endanger others.
But that's the thing, right? People, this is the argument they will bring up. Like, you are endangering others. You should stay home for the people that you even if you're fine, even if you know you're going to be okay, there's certain people that will not be okay because of your actions. They might get exposed to this thing that we don't have a vaccine for, we don't have universally accepted treatment for, and that we need to. There's two arguments, right? The one argument is we need to keep going, protect the weak, protect the sick, but let's open up the economy. The other argument is stop placing money over human lives. And let's shelter in place until we come up with some sort of a decision, and let's figure out some way to develop some sort of a universal basic income plan or something like that to feed people during this time when we make this transition.
I think there's as I said, my opinion is if somebody wants to stay home, they should stay home. If somebody doesn't want to stay home, they should not be compelled to stay home. That's my opinion. Do you think if somebody doesn't like that, well, that's my opinion. This notion though that you can just sort of send checks out to everybody and things will be fine is not true. Obviously, there's some people have this absurd view that the economy is like some magic horn of plenty, like it just makes stuff, whatever. It just, there's a magic horn of plenty, and the goods and services, they just come from this magic horn of plenty. And then if somebody has more stuff than somebody else, it's because they took more from this magic horn of plenty. Now let me just break it to you, the fools out there. If you don't make stuff, there's no stuff. Yeah. So if you don't make the food, if you don't process the food, you don't transport the food, and medical treatment, getting your teeth fixed. But there's no stuff. I would become detached from reality. You can't just legislate money and solve these things. If you don't make stuff, there is no stuff. Obviously, we'll run out of the stores. We'll run out of the the machine just grinds to a halt.
But the initial thought on this virus, the real fear was that this was going to kill hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people instantaneously in this country. It was going to do it very quickly if we didn't hunker down, if we didn't shelter in place, if we didn't quarantine ourselves or lock down. Do you think that the initial thought was a good idea based on the perception that this was going to be far more deadly than it turned out to be?
Maybe, I think briefly.
Briefly.
But I think if any kind of like sensible examination of what happened in China would lead to the conclusion that is obviously not going to occur. This virus originated in Wuhan. There was 100,000 people a day leaving Wuhan. So it went everywhere very fast throughout China, throughout the rest of the world, and the fatality rate was low.
Don't you think, though, it's difficult to appreciate? It's difficult to filter what the information that's coming out of China to accurately really get a real, true representation of what happened. The propaganda machine is very strong.
Sure.
The World Health Organization appears to have been complicit with a lot of their propaganda.
The thing is that American companies have massive supply chains in China, like Tesla, for example. We have hundreds of suppliers, like tier 1, 2, 3, 4 suppliers throughout China. So we know if they are able to make stuff or not. We know if they have issues or not. Then China is back at full steam. Many, pretty much every U.S. company has some significant number of suppliers in China. So you know if they're able to provide things or not, or if there's high mortality rate. Tesla has 7,000 people in China, so 0 people died. 0.
Okay, so that's a real statistic. That's coming from those people.
Yeah, we run payroll.
Do you think there's a danger of this? Same folks are there.
Yeah, still there.
Do you think there's a danger of politicizing this, where it becomes like opening up the country's Donald Trump's? It's his goal. It's his, and then anything he does is sort of there's people that are going to oppose it and come up with some reasons why he's wrong, particularly in this climate, whereas as we're leading up to November and the 2020 elections. Do you think that this is a real danger in terms of public's perception, that Trump wants to open it up so they knee-jerk oppose it because they oppose Trump?
I think there has been some this has been politicized, in both directions, really. So it's which is not great. But like I said, separate and apart from that, I think there's the question of where do civil liberties fit in this picture?
Yeah.
And what can the government make you do? What can they make you not do? And what's okay?
Right.
I think we went too far.
Do you think it's one of those things where once we've gone in a certain direction, it's very difficult to make a correction, make an adjustment to realize, okay, we thought it was one thing. It's not good, but it's not what we thought it was going to be. It's not what we feared. So let's back up and reconsider, and let's do this publicly and say we were acting based on the information that we had initially. That information appears to be faulty, and here's how we move forward while protecting civil liberties, while protecting what essentially this country was founded on, which is a very agreed upon amount of freedom that we respect and appreciate.
Absolutely. Well, I think we're rapidly moving towards opening up the country. It's going to happen extremely fast over the next few weeks. Something that would be helpful just to add from an informational level is when reporting sort of COVID cases, to separate out diagnosed with COVID versus had COVID-like symptoms.
Yes.
because the list of symptoms that could be COVID at this point is like a mile long. So it's like hard to, if you're ill at all, it's like it could be COVID. So just to give people better information, definitely diagnosed with COVID or had COVID-like symptoms. We're conflating those two, so that it looks bigger than it is. Then if somebody dies, was COVID a primary cause of the death or not? If somebody has COVID, gets eaten by a shark, we find their arm has COVID, it's going to get recorded as a COVID death.
Is that real?
Basically.
Not that bad, but heart attacks, strokes.
You get hit by a bus.
Cancer.
If you get hit by a bus, go to the hospital and die, and they find that you have COVID, you will be recorded as a COVID death.
Why would they do that, though?
Well, right now, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I mean, it's mostly paved with bad intentions, but there's some good intention paving stones in there too. And the stimulus bill that was intended to help with the hospitals that were being overrun with COVID patients created an incentive to record something as COVID that is difficult to say no to, especially if your hospital is going bankrupt for lack of other patients. So the hospitals are in a bind right now. There's a bunch of hospitals they're furloughing doctors, as you were mentioning. If your hospital's half full, it's hard to make ends meet. So now you've got if I just check this box, I get $8,000. Put them on a ventilator for 5 minutes, I get $39,000. Or I got to fire some doctors. So this is a tough moral quandary. It's like what you can do. That's the situation we have.
Ugh. What's the way out of this? What do you think is if you had the president's ear, or if people wanted to just listen to you openly, what do you think is the way out of this?
So let's clear up the data. So, like I said, something should be recorded as COVID only if it is somebody has been tested, has received a positive COVID test, not if they simply have symptoms, one of 100 symptoms. And then if it is a COVID death, it must be separated. Was COVID a primary reason for death, or did they also have stage 3 cancer, heart disease, emphysema, and got hit by a bus and had COVID?
Yeah, I've read all this stuff about them diagnosing people as a COVID death despite other variables.
This is not a question. This is what is occurring.
And where are you reading this from? Where are you getting this from?
The public health officials have literally said this. This is not a question mark.
Right. But this is unprecedented, right? Like if someone had the flu but also had a heart attack, they would assume that person died of a heart attack.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is unprecedented. Is this because this is such a popular, I don't want to use that word the wrong way, but that's what I mean, a popular subject, and financial incentives?
Yes. And like I said, this is not some sort of a moral indictment of sort of hospital administrators. It's just they're in a tough spot here. They actually don't have enough patients to pay everyone without furloughing doctors and firing staff, and they're potentially going bankrupt. So then they're like, okay, well, the stimulus bill says if we get all this money, if we say if it's a COVID death, I'm like, okay, they coughed before they died. In fact, they're not even diagnosed as COVID. They simply, if you had weakness, a cough, shortness of breath. Like, frankly, I'm not sure how you die without those things.
Yeah.
Right.
There's so many different things that you could attribute to COVID too. There's so many symptoms. There's diarrhea, headaches, dehydration, cough.
Yeah. Yes, but to be clear, you don't even need to have gotten a COVID diagnosis. Right. You simply need to have had one of many symptoms, and then have died for some reason, and it's COVID. So then it makes the death count look very high. And then we're then stuck in a bind because it looks like the death count's super high and not going down like it should be. And now, so then we should keep whatever, keep the shelter in place stuff there and keep people in their home, confine people to their homes. So we need to break out of this. We're stuck in a loop.
Yeah.
And I think the way to break out of this loop is to have clarity of information.
Clarity of information will certainly help, but altering perceptions, public perception, from people that are basically in a panic. There's a lot of essentially, well, at least a month ago, we're clearly in a panic. I mean, right where, you know, when you look around April 5th, April 6th, people were really freaking out. But here we are, May, and May, people are relaxing a little bit.
Yes.
They're realizing like, hey, I actually know a couple of people that got it. It was just a cough. And I know some people that got it where nothing happened.
I know a lot of people who got it. I know 0 people who died. I mean, I know a lot of people who got it.
Yeah, it's not what we feared. We feared something much worse.
Yeah, that's correct.
So the adjustment's difficult to make. So you said, first of all, we need real data. We need
just parse out the data. Don't lump it all together.
No.
And then you know, if you give people just parse out the data better, clearer information about like I said, was this an actual COVID diagnosis, or was it or did they get the test and the test came back positive, or do they just have some symptoms? Just parse those two out, and then parse out just if somebody died, did they die? Did they even have a COVID test, or did they just have one of many symptoms? Like how do you die without weakness? I don't know.
Right.
It's impossible, basically.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If you're going to die, you're going to have shortness of breath, weakness, and maybe you might cough a little.
So was it quantified? What was it?
Yeah, did that person die? Did they actually have a COVID test, and the test come back positive? And then if they died, did they die where COVID was? It doesn't have to be the main cause, but it was a significant contributor to their death, or was it not a significant contributor to the death?
Right. It's not as simple as just because you had COVID, COVID killed you.
It's definitely not.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, people die all the time, and they have like flu and other colds, and we don't say that they died of those flu and other colds.
Well, that's what's so weird about
absurd.
this. It's so popular, and I use that word in a weird way, but it's so popular that we've kind of forgotten. People die of pneumonia every day. People die of the flu. Didn't take a break. Oh, COVID's got this. I'm going to sit this one out. I'm going to be on the bench. I'm going to wait until COVID's done before I jump back into the game of killing people. No, the flu's still here, killing people.
I mean, every year in the world, several 100,000 people die directly of the flu.
Yeah.
Not tangentially.
Right.
Not
61,000 in this country last year.
Yeah, and we're only 5% of the world.
And then there's cigarettes.
So, oh man, cigarettes will really kill you.
That's a weird one, right? We're terrified of this disease that we're projected could potentially kill 100, if not 200,000 Americans this year. With cigarettes, kill 500,000. And you don't hear a peep out of any politician. There's no one running for Congress that's trying to ban cigarettes. There's no one running for Senate that wants to put some education plan in place that's going to stop cigarettes in their tracks.
Yeah, I mean, a long time, like several years ago, or maybe longer than 10 years ago, I helped make a movie called Thank You for Smoking.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Barbecuing your lungs is just bad news. It's not good. You know, turning your lungs into smoked beef is not great. Yeah. But Tylenol also, by the way, also kills a lot of people.
Yeah. What is the number for Tylenol every year?
I'm not sure the exact number, but I believe until the opioid crisis, I believe Tylenol was the #1 killer of all drugs. Because basically it's if you get drunk and take a lot of Tylenol, acetaminophen, essentially it causes liver failure. Oh. So people would like get wasted and then like have a headache and then pop a ton of Tylenol. It's curtains.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Curtains is a funny word.
Yeah. But nobody's like raging against Tylenol.
Yeah. It's weird. Acceptable deaths are weird, and that's the slippery slope about this. People shaming people for wanting to go back to work. Other people are going to die. Well, if you drive, do you drive? Okay, well, you should stop driving because people die from driving. So right. You definitely should fill up all the swimming pools because like 50 people die every day in this country from swimming. So let's not swim anymore.
Yeah, what is the really dangerous?
We need to chop down all the coconut trees.
Stop water.
Coconuts kill 150 people every year.
Yes.
Cut down all the coconut trees. We need those people.
Yes.
It's at a certain point in time. It's like, we're vulnerable, and we have a finite existence no matter what.
We do. Nobody lives forever.
Right.
I mean, I think you want to look at say deaths as like but for this disease or whatever, they would have lived X number of years.
Yeah.
So, if somebody dies when they're 20 and could have lived till 80, they last 60 years. But if somebody dies when they're 80 and they might have lived till 81, they last 1 year.
Yes.
So it's like how many life years were lost is probably the right metric to use.
I don't read my own comments, but I do read other people's comments. And I was reading this one little Twitter beef that was going on where someone was saying that COVID takes an average of 10 years off people's lives, and we should appreciate those 10 years. And then someone else said...
It's not true.
I'm sure it's not true.
Yeah, definitely
It's
not.
the Twitter. It's the
Oh my
world.
God.
But someone else said the average age of people who die from COVID is older than the average age people die.
It's very... Let's say it's about the same.
That's a beautiful way of looking at it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's unfortunate. It sucks. But it sucks if grandpa dies of Alzheimer's
Sure.
or emphysema or leukemia. It sucks.
Sure.
It sucks when someone you love dies.
Yes.
But
I mean, actually, if this, I think a lesson to be taken here that I think is quite important is that if you have grandparents and their age of grandparents, really be careful with any kind of flu or cold or something that is not dangerous to kids or young adults, but is dangerous to the elderly. It basically, if your kid's got a runny nose, they should stay away from their grandparents, no matter what it is. It's the things that are where a young immune system has no problem and an older one has a problem.
Yes.
And in fact, a lot of the deaths are literally it's tragic, but they're intra-family. It's the little kid had a cold or flu and
give it to grandpa.
They have the family gathering, and they don't know that this is a big deal, but it's just important to remember when you get old, your immune system's just not that strong, and so just be careful with your loved ones who are elderly.
And I think there is some true objective understanding of the immune system and the ways to boost that immune system. And I really think that information should be distributed in a way, a non-judgmental way. But look, this is a way that we can all this is a scientifically proven way that we can boost our immune system, and it might save your life, and it might save the life of your loved ones. And maybe we could teach this to our grandparents and our parents and people that are vulnerable. Vitamin C, heat shock proteins, all these different variables that we know contribute to a stronger immune system.
Yeah, actually, just a thing that is tough. If you like when you as you get older, it's hard to be. You tend to put on weight. Certainly that's happening with me. As the older I get, I'm like, damn, it's harder to stay lean. That's for sure. And so actually being overweight is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a fact. Yeah.
The New York hospital said it was the number one factor for severe COVID symptoms was obesity. That was the number one factor.
It is. That's yes, exactly.
But it's also, we live in a world where people want to be sensitive to other people's feelings. So
absolutely.
We don't want to bring up the fact that being fat's bad for you. It's a judgment on your...
Food's great.
Yeah, I do love food.
Yeah, and I mean to be totally frank, speaking for myself, I'd rather eat tasty food and live a shorter life.
Yeah, those moments of enjoying a great meal. Yeah. And then even talking about it, they're valuable. They're worth something. Yeah, it's not. We don't want to eat Soylent Green and live to be 160.
I don't want to eat. Tasty food is great. It's one of the best things about life.
It really is. Yeah, it's an art form as well. It's like fine
absolutely.
food. It's a delicious sandcastle. It's temporary. It doesn't last very long, but there's something about it that's very pleasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what advice to give. Maybe have the tasty food with smaller amounts of it.
Yes. Yeah. And I think regulated feeding window is really the way to go. Some sort of an intermittent fasting approach. Sure. When I started doing that, I found myself to be quite a bit healthier. And when I've deviated from that, I've gained weight.
So what's
16 hours. Well, I like 16 hours. Yeah.
So like at night or
yeah. So I get to a certain point and then I count out. I usually hit the stopwatch on my phone. And then I look at 15 hours in. I'm like, oh, okay, got an hour before I can eat. Yeah. And so anything in between that is just water or coffee.
Actually, this may be a useful bit of advice for people, but eating before you go to bed is a real bad idea, and actually negatively affects your sleep.
Yeah.
And it can actually cause heartburn that you don't even know is happening, and that subtle heartburn affects your sleep because you're horizontal and your body's digesting. So if you want to improve the quality of your sleep, and be healthier, it's do not eat right before we're going to sleep.
Yeah.
It's like one of the worst things you could do.
Some of the biggest mistakes I've ever made. I've done that particularly after comedy shows. I'm starving.
Sure.
I'll come home and I'll eat, and then I go to bed and I just feel like shit, and I wake up in the middle of the night. Like,
it's gonna crush your sleep, and it's gonna damage your pyloric sphincter and your esophagus, and it's so. In fact, drinking and then going to sleep is that's one of the worst things you can do.
Yes. Yeah.
So just try to avoid drinking and eating
booze. Booze. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't small amounts of alcohol that evidence suggests it doesn't have a negative effect on it.
I put it in the same category as delicious food. It kind of makes things a little more fun. I like it.
I mean, some of the people who've lived the longest, was a woman in France who I think maybe has the record or close to it, and she had a glass of wine every day. So it's like small amounts is fine. This is like I learned this like quite late in life. It's like just avoid having alcohol and avoid eating at least 2 or 3 hours before going to sleep, and your quality of sleep will improve, and your general health will improve a lot.
For sure.
It's a big deal, and I think not widely known.
Do you have time to exercise?
A little bit.
Do you have a trainer or anything?
I do, although I haven't seen him for a while. But especially if I'm out, like say working on Starship or something in South Texas, and I'm just living in I got a little house there in Boca Chica Village, and I don't have much to do, so or like I'm working and I'll do just lift some weights or something, maybe I don't. Some people love running. I don't love running. But
what do you like to do exercise wise?
To be totally frank, I wouldn't exercise at all if I could. But if I prefer not to exercise. But if I'm going to exercise and lift some weights and then kind of run on the treadmill and maybe watch a show that if there's a compelling show that like pulls you in.
Right. Yeah, that's a good thing to do. Yeah. Watch a good movie or episode of Black Mirror or something like that. It's great.
Man, don't watch Black Mirror before going to bed either.
Well, don't watch Black Mirror today. It's too fucking accurate.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, wait, this already happened in real life.
Yeah, they're too close.
It's too close.
Well, didn't you say that the guy who makes Black Mirror?
Today yet? Oh, my mic's off. He said it's not a good time to start season 6.
Yeah, he wants to hold off because reality
he's nailed it.
Is Black Mirror.
Oh, man.
It's like he's going to have to like reassess and attack it from a different angle.
Yeah.
You should try something that's fun to do. That's not just like learn a martial art or something like that.
I did martial arts when I was a kid.
Did you? What'd you do?
Yeah. I did Taekwondo. I did karate, Kyokushinkai karate.
Oh, all right, cool.
And judo.
Also, you really branched out.
Yeah. I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu briefly.
Did you?
Yeah.
Where?
In Palo Alto.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit. I was going to suggest that. That's a great thing for people. Like, that's a thing about jiu-jitsu. If you look at it from the outside, you think, oh, a bunch of meatheads strangling each other.
Sure.
But they're some of the smartest people I know are jiu-jitsu fiends because they first of all, they get introduced to it because usually either they want to exercise or learn some self-defense.
Sure.
But then they realize that it's essentially like a language with your body. Like you're having an argument with someone with some sort of a physical language. And it's really complex. And the more access to vocabulary and the sharper your words are,
Sure.
the more you'll succeed in these ventures. And that's really also an accurate analogy of what jiu-jitsu is.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of probably like a lot of people, for the way early day, the first MMA fights in Hoist Gracie, and he was just like incredible.
Yes.
And it was just like
Technique.
Yeah. He was like, winning against people way bigger and that kind of thing. It was just like, whoa, this is cool.
It was what martial arts were supposed to be when we were kids.
Yeah.
When you saw Bruce Lee fuck up all these big giant guys, like, wow, martial arts allow you to beat someone far bigger and stronger than you.
Right.
most of the time that's not real.
Especially if they know martial arts too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no.
Yes, but in the UFC, when Hoist Gracie, off of his back, was strangling
Yeah.
Dan Severn with his legs, you're
Yeah.
like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This guy's being pinned by this big giant wrestler, and he wraps his legs around his
Yeah.
neck and chokes him to the point the guy has to surrender.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, Hoist got beaten up pretty bad in some of those.
He definitely had some rough fights.
But
The
he
Kimo
won.
Fight. He
Yeah.
won, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a legend. But what it showed, and I mean, I'm a huge lover of jiu-jitsu. What it showed is that there is a method for diffusing these situations with technique and knowledge.
Yeah.
And I think it's also a great way to exercise too, because it's almost like the exercise is secondary to the learning of the thing. The exercise is like you want to develop strength and conditioning just so that you could be better at doing the thing.
Sure.
And the analogy that I use is like, if you had a race car and you could actually give the race car better handling and more horsepower
Yeah.
just from your own focus and effort.
Sure.
That's really what it's like.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. When am I going to be able to...
My kids, I should say, I sent my kids to jiu-jitsu since they were like, I don't know, 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So it's been a
awesome.
while, yeah.
It's a great thing to learn. It
Yeah,
really
it
is.
Seems like a good, yes.
Yeah. Maybe something like,
Sorry.
I mean, even if you just have someone that holds the pads for you, like you get a workout in and it'd be fun. When am I going to be able to buy one of them roadsters? When's that happening?
Well, I can't, say exactly when, but we got to get it. This COVID thing's kind of thrown us for a loop.
I'm sure.
So, not to blame everything on COVID, but it's it certainly set us back on progress for some number of months. The things we got to get done ahead of Roadster are ramping up Model Y production. That'll be a great car. It is a great car. Getting the Berlin Gigafactory built, and also building Y, expanding the Shanghai factory, which is going great, and get the Cybertruck, semi truck, Roadster. Roadster's kind of like dessert, so like we gotta get the meat and potatoes and greens and stuff, like.
But Roadster comes before Cybertruck.
I mean, I think we should do Cybertruck first before Roadster.
Interesting.
Now
I'm not mad at that.
Some of the things for Roadster, they're the tri-motor plaid powertrain. We're going to have that in Model S. So that's like one of the ingredients that's needed for Roadster is the plaid powertrain, the more advanced battery pack, that kind of thing.
I wanted to ask you about this before I forgot. There's a company that's called Apex. It's taking your Teslas and they're giving it a wider base and wider tires and a little bit more advanced suspension.
Sure.
How do you feel about that? Do you
sounds good
work
to me,
with
sure.
them? Are you cool with those people?
Yeah, I mean, I'm off. Yeah, go ahead.
They're jazzing stuff up with carbon fiber and doing a bunch of interior choices. You're cool with it? You can't fuck with that. You don't have time. So is it good that someone comes along and has this sort of specialty operation?
Yeah, I got no problem.
That's what it's called, right? It's like, J-Mac, is it called Apex?
Yeah, I got a Unplugged Performance S Apex.
That's right.
Yeah.
Unplugged Performance, yeah.
Yeah, you could for sure lighten the car up and improve to tire traction. And
Have you seen that company's stuff, what they do?
I don't know specifically, but
It's pretty dope.
yeah.
They make a pretty dope looking. They take Model S and they widen it and give it a bunch of carbon fiber. That's it right there.
Cool.
Ooh la la! Look at
That
that.
looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it does. Now the plaid version of the Model S, are you going to widen the track and do a bunch of different? I know you guys are testing at the Nürburgring. Can you not talk about that?
Well, I think we got to leave that for like
Okay.
a proper sort of product unveil.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Last time you were here, you convinced me to buy a Tesla. I bought it and it's fucking insane.
Oh, great! Glad you like it.
Ah, man.
Pretty fun.
It's not just pretty fun. It's like the way I've described it is it makes other cars seem stupid. They just seem dumb. Like I love dumb things. I love dumb cars. Like I love campfires.
Yeah,
I love
totally.
campfires. I have a 1993 Porsche that's air cooled.
Sure.
It's like it's not that fast. It's really slow compared to the Tesla.
Yeah,
really
actually,
slow.
it's really quite slow. But
Yeah, but there's
sure.
something engaging about the mechanical, just like the gears, and
Sure.
it's very analog. But it's so stupid in comparison to the Tesla. Like when I want to go somewhere in the Model S, I hit the gas and it just goes whee.
Yeah.
It like violates time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you've tried it like Ludicrous Plus and stuff
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We just did a software update where it'll do like a cheetah stance. So so it's because it's got a dynamic air suspension, so it lowers the back.
Oh, Jesus.
It's just like a sprinter, basically.
Right.
Like, what do you do if you're a sprinter? You
Right.
like hunker down, and then I shaved like a tenth of a second off the 0-6. I mean, like, it is pretty fun.
It's so. I've taken so many people, and I'm like, I take them for the holy shit moment. I'm like, are you ready? Like, hang on there, and then I stomp on the gas.
That I've never felt anything like it.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
It really is.
Sure.
The instant torque, and just the sheer acceleration is baffling.
It's baffling.
It's baffling.
They've never felt it.
No.
It's
And
faster than falling.
it's crazy. It's so fast. It's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And my family yells at me when I stomp the gas. Like, I tell my kids, I'm like, you want to feel it? You want to feel it? Like, do it, do it, do it. My wife's like, don't do it. Boom. What?
Yeah.
And even if I just do it on the highway for a couple of seconds, it's
pretty
very
fun.
exciting.
Yeah.
It's very
It's like
fun.
having your own roller coaster on tap,
It really is like a roller coaster on top.
Yeah.
Without the loop-de-loops. But it's the pinning to your seat. It seems like you're not supposed to be able to experience that from some sort of a consumer vehicle that you can a regular person could buy if you have the money. It seems too crazy. And then the idea that this Roadster is a half of a second faster than that,
Yeah.
that's madness.
Well, with the Roadster, we're going to do some things that are kind of unfair. So we're going to take some things from kind of like Rocket World and put them on a car. So.
Oh, I read about that.
Yeah.
Explain that. Like, what do you do?
Well, like I said, we can't do the product unveil right here, but
Okay.
but it's going to do some things that are unfair. And
Unfair.
When we do the unveil of the Roadster, let me just say that anyone who's been waiting, they won't be sorry. They won't be sorry.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, anything that goes 0 to 60, what is it, 1.9? Is that the 0 to 60?
That's the base model.
That's what's the top of the food chain model?
Well,
Okay.
Gotta,
Faster than that. Let's just say faster than that.
Yeah.
That seems so crazy to me. Now, what was it like when the dude threw the steel balls at the window and they were supposed to not break and it broke?
Well, yeah. I mean,
I know extenuating circumstances.
You know that our demos are authentic. So I was not expecting that, and then I think I muttered under my breath, like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah. You didn't get mad though.
No.
You didn't Steve Jobs it.
No, I definitely swore, but I didn't think the mic would pick it up, but it did. But so, like, we practiced this, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
At Tesla, we don't do like tons of practice for our demos because we're working on the cars. Like we're building new technologies and improving the fundamental product. So we're not spending doing like hundreds of practice things or anything like that. We don't have time for that. But just hours before the demo, both Franz, is a head of design, and I were in the studio throwing steel balls at the window and it's bouncing right off. I'm like, okay, this seems pretty good. Seems like we got it. Okay. And then we think what happened was that when Franz hit the door with the sledgehammer, so like this is like exoskeleton, high strength hardened steel. You can literally wind up with a sledgehammer, full on double handed sledgehammer, and hit the door, and there's not even a dent. It's cool, but we think that cracked the corner of the glass at the bottom. And then once you crack the corner of the glass, it's game over. So then when you threw the ball, that's what cracked the glass.
So in
but
hindsight,
it didn't go through, though.
It didn't go through. That's true. That's true. It didn't shatter the whole thing like a regular window would either, which would just dissolve, right? So in hindsight, the ball should have been first, sledgehammer second.
Yeah.
You live, you learn.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, man, we've taken up a lot of your time. You had a child recently. It's amazing that you had the time to come down here, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate everything you do, man. I'm glad you're out there, and I really appreciate you coming down here and sharing your perspective.
Well, I think you got a great show. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right.
Pleasure. Elon Musk, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
All right, that should get a little play.